Hey guys, how's it going? Hope you're having a good day. Awesome day here today. There's a little bit of sun. It's actually a little bit warm out there, which is crazy. It hasn't been warm in a long time. I can't remember the last time Vancouver had a winter that lasted this long. It's really sad. So it's nice to feel a bit of warmth and see a bit of sun. So my topic that I wanted to talk about is about your gut. So it's really important to have a healthy gut. Most of our immune system actually is in our gut. So in order to keep that healthy, we have to keep our gut healthy. And a lot of people don't realize how unhealthy their gut actually is. So I'll talk about some of the good things that happen when you get that in check and some ways to make that happen. Hey Alyssa, how's it going? Hey Ryan. Hey Ken. One reason why you want your gut health in check is because you'll suffer from less intestinal distress. So a lot of people are suffering from intestinal distress and think that that's just normal, but it's not. You shouldn't be suffering from that. So it probably means that your gut flora is off balance. And we have good bacteria in our gut and we have bad bacteria in our gut. And they need to be in balance in order for everything to work properly. So if it's off balance, you're going to experience things like intestinal distress, so bloating and stuff like that, just not feeling good, especially right after you've eaten. So that's a good sign there that you need some help. When as I mentioned, your immune system, the majority of it is in your gut. So if the flora is off balance, then your immune system isn't going to be quite as good, and you won't be able to fight off those viruses and bugs and stuff that you come in contact with every day. So if you notice that you're getting sick a lot, it could be that you just need to improve the health of the flora in your gut. The other thing about keeping a good balance is you absorb your nutrients better. So you could be eating a super healthy diet, but if your gut balance is off balance, you won't be absorbing those nutrients. So you could be taking the best vitamins, eating the best food, and all of this stuff, but if there's something going on in your gut, that stuff is not being absorbed properly, which can be pretty frustrating. Hi Angel, how's it going? And when you're absorbing nutrients properly, when you're getting everything that you're putting in your body, you're going to have more energy and fewer cravings. So you'll have more energy because you're actually absorbing the energy you're putting into your body by food. It's not just going through you. And fewer cravings because typically if you're getting a lot of cravings, it's because you're not getting the amount of nutrients that your body needs. So when your body doesn't get the nutrients that it needs, it will signal you to keep eating more, and it will cause you to crave things that are usually a little higher in calories because your body's just kind of going for some kind of dense form of nutrition, and things high in calories or high in sugar are going to be high in calories. So that can lead to sugary cravings. So if you're getting a lot of cravings and you're really frustrated, it could be because of that. And I used to get cravings a lot, especially for sugar. And like every night, we'd finish dinner, I'd be like, hey, you want to go get some pie or something? And like we're eating dessert every single night. And I didn't really think much of it. I just knew that I was just really craving it. And now, no. I have this giant Kinder Egg at home that's been sitting on the table for the past week, and I haven't even thought about it. I don't have those intense cravings for sugar anymore. And that's because I got my gut flora in check, so I got that all fixed. The other thing, when you've got an imbalance, you're going to experience inflammation in the body, and this is not good. So inflammation is actually the root of all disease. So if you've got inflammation starting in your gut, that's going to be a big problem. And if you suffer from anything like IBS, inflammation in the gut is going to be a huge, huge issue. So it's really important that you get things in balance. So how do you increase the good gut bacteria? Let's talk about that a little bit. So cut out sugar and processed foods. So interesting that when your balance is out, it's probably caused by sugar, and then you're craving more sugar, so you just keep putting sugar in. You keep feeding the problem. Eat more plants and dietary fiber. So you're going to get lots of nutrients from your plants, and the dietary fiber helps to remove waste. Limit antibiotics. So, sometimes people do need antibiotics, but the problem with them is that they don't discriminate between good and bad bacteria. So it just wipes out everything. And yes, probiotics too, Angel, and I am going to get to that one actually. Also with antibiotics, by the way, if you're eating commercial meats, you're probably being exposed to antibiotics on a regular basis because unfortunately they use antibiotics and hormones when they're raising commercial meats. So without even knowing it, you're probably wiping out a lot of bacteria, good and bad, and you're not building that up again. So the last point is to get probiotics into you. So probiotics, that's going to feed the good bacteria and allow them to grow and then get everything back in balance. Not just any probiotic, though. Probiotics are actually very fragile and they can be destroyed by heat and an acidic environment. So don't just go to the store and look for some cheap probiotic supplement because that's not going to do it. It was probably treated with heat. The cultures will all be dead. There's no point. If you're going to use, you can use yogurt. There's probiotics in yogurt, but go for a high quality yogurt because again, if it's been exposed to any heat or if it's in an acidic environment, those probiotics are not going to survive. Stuff that contains probiotics, if you buy supplements, they need to be refrigerated. If it's a freeze-dried thing, like it's in powdered form, there should be an expiration date on it. If there's not an expiration date on it, just leave it alone because these probiotics will die. So you might be looking at a product that's powder form, there's no expiration date, or the expiration date is like years down the road. Those probiotics will not survive that. So you have to have a high quality source. And if you're wondering what I'm using, I actually started using Shakeology and was very impressed with it. I started using it about 1.5 years ago. And, like anything new, I was curious about it. I'd been asked by a friend if I would try it out. And so I looked at the ingredients and I thought, oh, yeah, it sounds good. And I tried it and I really liked it, like almost too much. I thought, okay, there's got to be something in here that's not good for me because it tastes really good. And so I did the research and looked at videos and stuff like that, and it really is an amazing source of nutrition, and it does have the probiotics, the live cultures in there, and it's a certain strain of probiotic that actually can withstand the acidic environment of your gut and actually do what it's supposed to do. So when I started using it, I was told, within 4 or 5 days, you're going to feel like a lot more energetic and your cravings are going to go away. And I'm thinking, yeah, right, we'll see. Because, people make claims about things to make them sound great. So I thought I'm going to really pay attention. I actually kept note of how I was feeling during the days when I started using it. And sure enough, 4 or 5 days into it, I was like, oh, I actually feel more energetic. Like not that crazy, jittery, oh, I just had like a handful of caffeine pills kind of energy. It was okay, my body is functioning properly and I have this energy because I'm absorbing more of the food that I'm eating. So, I eat fairly healthy, quite healthy, but once I got everything back in balance and I was actually absorbing everything that I was eating, I was actually really noticing the change in energy. And as I said, the cravings, I really don't struggle with them anymore. Like I said, I had that Kinder Egg just sitting on my table. It's a giant one. In the past, that would have made it through even a day. So it does actually, it's really worth looking at in improving the balance of the flora in your gut. So it's a big thing, you guys. You can't just, eat anything and everything and expect your body to function properly. And like I said, if you are eating super healthy and you're still noticing these problems, more than likely it's just an imbalance in the flora in your gut and you need more of the good stuff. And, you got to find a way to do that. And as I said, even if you're not taking antibiotics, if you're eating any kind of commercial meats, chances are you're being exposed to antibiotics. So, it's really worth the time and effort to find some kind of supplement, whatever's going to work for you, to increase the bacteria, the good bacteria. And if you do, I would ask you to do like what I did and just kind of note down how you're feeling and see if within, 4 or 5 days, if you do notice an increase in your energy, because it's amazing when your body's working properly and you're absorbing the nutrients you're putting into your body. Like it's a whole, like it's a game changer. You feel energetic, you don't feel cravings, you don't have that brain fog anymore. It's just because everything is operating properly. So we have to keep everything in our bodies in balance for sure. Hey Travis. Hi Ryan. How does one know if is in check or the gut is in check and healthy? Like some of those symptoms I talked about, if you notice that you're experiencing a lot of intestinal grief, so like bloating and stuff like that. If you know that you're eating healthy, but your energy is just kind of low, and if you're getting a lot of cravings, so I think cravings are a big thing. A friend of mine who does have IBS, once she took charge of her health and got everything in balance in her gut, she's fine. She doesn't suffer with anything unless she happens to eat something that she shouldn't be eating, and then it does come back. But just by taking the time to balance everything out, she actually is able to manage her symptoms really, really well. So that's amazing. Also, if you notice you're getting sick a lot, that could be another indication because, as I said, most of your immune system is in your gut. So if your gut is unhealthy, your immune system is not strong. So you're going to be getting sick quite a bit. So looking at that energy level and cravings, those are kind of the two red flags for me, like low energy and crazy cravings, even though you're eating, a well-balanced diet. Those would be the ones that I would look at. And that is about it. So I have to go because I do have class to teach. Hey, Vera, how's it going? Hi, Andy. If you have any questions, feel free to shoot them at me. You've had yours out of balance for so long, it's normal. Oh my God, Ryan, that is so true for so many people, and that's so sad. And that's one of the things that I talk to people about is that we've gotten to a point where we think that discomfort, low energy, just feeling like crap all the time is normal, and it's not. It's really not. Our North American diet is not good, you guys. It's there's a lot of junk out there. Even the healthy food that we're putting in our body, unfortunately, because the soils have been so overused, so depleted of vitamins and minerals, we're not getting what we think we're getting. If you're not eating seasonally and locally, the food you're getting, it has to travel a long way to get to you, and it loses nutrient value during that travel. So, you might think that you're putting great things in your body, not realizing that they're depleted in the nutrients that you think that they have. So, yeah, it is sad. And I thought for the longest time the way I was feeling was just normal, and I thought, this sucks, but I guess that is just normal, whatever. And it's not. It takes a bit of time to get everything in balance and in check. But it's your health, right? And that should be where you're investing your time and your effort, is getting your health, to the best it can be. Because if you're not in good health, like, you're not going to be able to give all you need to give to your loved ones. You're just, you're going to have a really poor quality of life. You're just going to feel like crap. Probably suffer from things like depression and anxiety and that kind of thing. My mission is to teach nutrition to people, teach them how they can feel really great just by taking care of their bodies. And luckily, it's not complicated at all. It just takes a little bit of kind of rethinking what you've been taught, because we've been throwing a lot of really mixed kind of messages from media that have really messed with our heads. I did a complete turnaround, and which is where my passion comes from. And I just want to help you guys out. So if you do have questions, like I said, you can message me. I got to go and set up my studio for my class. But I will definitely answer any questions that you have. Or if there's something you want me to look into to talk about sometime on one of these lives, please let me know, and I will research it for you. All right, got to run. Have an awesome evening, guys. Talk to you soon.